Okay, I'm just gonna start.
Okay,
Is that
jump
cool?
Jump in.
How is Life on Tour treating you so far?
It's good. I feel like the 4 weeks is a great marker. Once you get into like 5, 6 weeks, things get a little bit rough. You
Yeah.
start to like lose grip on reality, kind of thing. And then I feel like the shows tend to start to suffer when that happens. You know what I mean? Right now, though, like we're at the end of like 7 in a row, and I've noticed that I'm probably best at 4 and then a day off, like just to like have like a resting, because like I've realized like in the past year that my body doesn't recover as quickly, like, and like my wrists hurt and like joints hurt and like everything, so it's like it gets rough at 5, 6, 7 in a row. Those are rough. But tour's going great because I think the tour that we put together is fantastic. So like I get to see bands that I want to see every night, and that's an amazing feeling.
You've obviously been doing this for a long time, but
Yeah.
how do you like prepare for tour? I guess.
Well, I think it's different, right? Like with a band like this, say, we have one record, so we know we're gonna have to play the entire record, right? And then at the same time, it's like you want to kind of build the set up around other things, and I think that we've done like the headline tour. We did like other tours where we started the set a certain way with like the first song from the record. I felt like that was a good idea, but now like we've done that, like a lot of kids have seen that, so we wanted to kind of like, what are the other starters and things like that, and it's building a set list around that. Like I know how I want to start, I know how I want to end, but then you want to kind of like it needs to have like a little bit of a curve, like you want to come down and then come back up again, kind of thing. Like that, you don't want to bore anybody, because even like my favorite bands, it's hard to watch for like 45 minutes. But you want to do like an hour and 15 sets, so you need to like kind of make it so that it's interesting the whole way. So you work on that, and then I look for bands that I want to take out if it's our tour, and then I spend about a month. Maybe I basically, it's a month of me designing the art for the new line, and then like about a half a month for them to like produce like all this stuff, and then try to get your numbers in and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 3 months out, how do you prepare for that? Is basically like choosing cities that you want to try to get to, and then it's between mileage and all that, and transportation. It's things that I never want to deal with.
But
That's
do
my
you
least
do it
favorite.
all like yourself?
No, I have a lot of people that help. I have a hand in it, but I don't have full say. You know what I mean? It's it depends on promoters that put in offers for the show. It's numbers that you've pulled in the past. All that plays in. It's kind of nuts. Stuff that I don't want to know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to be like, hey, I really like that city. I really like that place. I want to play there. That's my thing.
Cool. A person who's never been to one of your shows before, what can they expect?
Well, hopefully, they don't expect anything. It's weird. I think you can expect to hear the songs that you want to hear, because we have to play everything. And then I think we've been really lucky that people can expect a positive environment. But as far as what to expect, I don't even know what to expect every night. Like I like the fact that it's drastically different, and I think that's kind of the point of doing shows and playing places multiple times, and going to see bands multiple times. Is that anything can happen. I like to try to change it up, but like I said too, with the amount of material, it's hard to change up too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can expect to have a good time. I feel like if anybody that comes to the show doesn't have a good time, it's kind of their own fault.
Are you more comfortable with the like frontman role now than when you started out?
Yes and no. I don't know if I'll ever fully be like comfortable with that role, but I've definitely come to terms with it a lot more. I've realized that there's a way to do it that makes me feel good about it, and there's certain nights where you really feel it, and you feel this conversation that you can have with people, and you feel like you're really getting things across, And some nights there's not that, and that's okay. You can work around that too. But I realized that I don't have to be that laughable persona that I thought was so weird. That I just didn't have inside. I feel like I'm able to do this as myself, and as an awkward feeling kind of person, and that's okay. I didn't know if that was possible, and now I feel like that's possible, so that makes me feel more comfortable. I don't think I'll, there's certain people that you go down in history as oh, that was a great frontman.
Yeah.
And there's certain people that do it very well, and there's certain people that do it, and I look back and go, wow, it's so cringeworthy. I never want that. But I'm looking forward to growing and learning more about it. I think that's the thing is, if you don't learn, then there's really no point in doing this.
You, as a person, have been all over the world already. Is there any specific place you would want to take this project?
Yeah, definitely Australia, which we're doing next month. Not next month, the month after January, which is awesome. I've wanted that for a while. Japan is always a great time, but it's not the right time for this project yet. I've always wanted to play Alaska. Never played there.
Wow.
Yeah, and that would be amazing. I heard Iceland is beautiful. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do more Eastern Europe, and Asia. We haven't even attempted that yet. I think South America would be great too. I think that would be a good time for this project, but I don't know if it's going to work out just yet. It's so strange, the things that are involved in that. People think oh, you just buy tickets, go down there, and then play a show at a bar. It's so not like that. I wish it was like that. But we got to play Mexico. I'd like to do a more extensive tour down there. I'd love to do South America. I think those are the ones that are tangible right now. Maybe South America and of course Australia. We haven't gotten to play Norway yet.
Huh?
We haven't gotten to play Norway yet. I'd like to do that.
As you probably know, you have very dedicated fans. How does that feel to see the same people over again? People have your face tattooed on them, stuff like that. How does that feel?
It feels nice to see familiar faces over and over at shows. I feel like that means that there's a true connection there. It means you're doing something right. As far as the tattooing and all that stuff, that's amazing. I think that's a severe commitment. That's a lifelong thing, and I think it's amazing. I hope that they've thought it through. I think we tend to not think things through too much, but it's okay. It's all right to make mistakes. But it's it's something I really don't think about much. I can't, otherwise it'd be weird. I think if I thought about it a lot, it would make it weird for me, and I think it would make it weird for everybody else too. So I just kind of let it ride.
Like we said, you've been doing this for a long time. How do you feel like the scene has changed since you started out? Is it better or worse, or just changed?
Just different, I started touring with no cell phone and no GPS. We had a map and a van, and it was very unknown. Things were very unknown. I liked that there was more flyering. There was like show posters and stuff like that. That was really cool. There was these niche scenes, that was kind of awesome. Where like it felt like every night was like a different country, because it was very spread out. There was the internet, like people talking and stuff like that, but it just felt farther away. Now everything feels a little bit more close knit, and that's comforting. I don't think one's better or worse. I think it's just different. I don't like the immediacy though of like posting things or images or videos. I think that takes away. I think it zaps some of the mystery of what's going to happen, the anticipation. I think it doesn't allow for bands to really cultivate or grow new songs the way they should be able to, and that's a shame. So I think that's one thing that's worse. But as far as like the scene goes, like I think there's a betterment in that people are able to connect and meet and have these networks and like a support system, which is really cool. I know there was like a Twitter account or like a website that was doing things where they had like a buddy system, like going to shows, and I thought that was fucking awesome. Anything that makes it safer and easier for kids to attend shows that they want to go to that are farther away. I'm for. I think that's awesome.
Is this the project you'll stick with for a while? Because you're
Tend to jump around.
Yeah.
I know. I think so. I think that was one of the points too of calling it my name, was that I couldn't run away from it. I know my weaknesses in that respect, where I tend to get really excited about something, and then something else shiny pops up, and I get really excited about that, so I tend to run away, and that's just my personality, I guess. Like, I wish I had a little bit more follow through on things, but sometimes you don't know what's going to inspire and where the passion's going to go. So I try to chase that as much as possible. But I think with this, the cool thing about it is no matter what I do, I'm always going to be me. And so if it's called that, then I can't really escape it. For better or worse. Maybe it makes you think a little bit more about what it is that you put out. Because it's not just a band; it's like a legacy. It's something that you're attached to. It's kind of like in your blood. So yeah, I think I'll stick around. Let's see.
Good. Can we expect another record at any time?
You can expect it.
Did you like start working on anything yet?
I've started to write, and been writing for a little while now. Sorry. Ooh. I hope we figured that out.
Yeah.
I got 3 days of recording time in February. I don't know if that's for the record. That's just for something that's a bucket list thing that I'm very, very excited about, but I'm not even uttering a word about until it's done. Sorry, but that's gonna be cool. It's gonna either be horrible or amazing. There's no in between on it. So I'm very excited about that. But I don't know if that's gonna be record based. I think that's just gonna be something that stands alone. I hope it does, at least. We'll see what it turns into. But there's that, and then the Australia tour, and then I'd like to, in the meantime, just be writing and demoing, and then hopefully seriously get into a studio and start recording like late spring. I know labels need about 3 months of like a lead time on things. So like basically from the moment that you finish recording to release date, they need about at least 3 months, like for production and stuff like that. I know that we're definitely been bumped up to Vagrant, so because Staple is no longer our label got bought, by BMG. So we're now on Big Records proper.
So you wrote Stomach Aches and recorded it mostly alone. Will it be the same, or will you bring the band in on the process for the next thing?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know just yet. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I think different songs call for different things. I had a really fun time playing everything, but I have very capable people, at my fingertips now, and that's awesome. It depends. I think it's gonna be song to song.
Where do you find your inspiration when you want to write music specifically?
I find it to come from anywhere and everywhere. It's never where I'm looking. It just kind of happens. If I feel like I'm more of a conduit. Like I'm somebody that needs to always stay kind of like in tune with my surroundings, because you never know when that's gonna pop up, and sometimes you miss it. Like that's why I try to look for when I'm just walking around or just living life. Like I'll see things and I don't know what they mean just yet, but sometimes they pop up months or years later. I think just life in general. I think this experience is the real inspiration. Happiness, maybe, pain, all human emotion.
And how do you work through like creative blocks?
Oh man, they're crippling sometimes. I don't know. I used to think that you could power through and just kind of like, just like grind it down and you can get it through it. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I tend to think like jumping from medium to medium works. If you have a creative block and say like music, then stop and move on to like just another art piece. Create something just visual, or be like anything and everything works. And then all of a sudden you go back and you're like, oh, that wasn't a big deal, or you totally abandon the project and you're onto something new already.
Other projects, death spells, poetry book, photography.
Right.
What's going on?
Oh man, I know. It's very hard for me to work all the way through something on the road. I'm very bad with that, especially like, and right now we're in a full bus. Like there's literally no room for anything. Any room that we had is now taken up by like dirty socks. It's just there's no room to do anything, and you can go in your bunk and it's a cavernous thing, and I've had time to create a little bit, but I can't finish anything.
Would you consider covering a Pensy Prep song live?
Oh wow. I don't know. That was such a moment in time. There was a I Am a Graveyard song that I really, really love, that I still love. That I don't know how we would do it, but I would do that. I would do Last Rites. That's about it.
What's one thing that fans tend to do that you rather they didn't?
Oh man.
People need to know because they never know what to do.
Well, I think just in general, don't ever run up on somebody in public. Like that's not a good idea. I think the more chill you are, the better. Like we don't, I feel like some people, sometimes it's hard to like control emotions and things like that. But I think to create a scene just to create a scene is weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Don't ask me if I'm real. That's stupid. I don't like that at all. I don't like when people cover their faces in pictures. I think that's yeah. No, you should. If we're gonna take a picture, I want your beautiful face in it. Yeah, I don't like making videos for people that aren't there because I feel like it's empty. I feel like it'd be nicer if we just met in person. I think it'd mean more. And if you get up on stage, you get up, you sing into the mic a little bit, and then you jump off. Like you don't just stand up there.
Right.
Those are my tops.
Those are your tops.
Yeah.
Okay, so in lines and stuff, just stay in the line even though you walk past.
Yeah, no,
Basically.
yeah. No, when I mean run up on somebody, like like people like do this like run up thing and like just like jump in your face kind of thing, and I think that's off-putting because like here's what you have to understand is we don't know each other. That's my first impression of you. If you just did that to someone on the street, you might get punched. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. Like that's like a personal space thing. Like you could think like somebody's running up on you to like rob you. You know what I mean? If I'm in a town I don't know, like it makes me uncomfortable. You know, and it causes a scene and it's a big deal. But like if you go up to someone like, hey, excuse me, like, you know, are you Frank? Hi, how you doing? I'm a big fan. Like that's cool, you know. But don't like literally like run full speed at someone because they could think that you're not doing something nice. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
makes sense, right? Like if you were
It
just walking on the
does.
street and somebody like ran full bore at you and like stopped short in your face, like you would think that they had like were going to either harm you or had like some sort of sinister motive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's just weird. That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, good to know.
Yeah. My
Okay.
pleasure. Thank you
You
so much,
so
Cam.
much.
Appreciate it. Have fun tonight.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.